Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Surprise Jab Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Ruger, surprising you with new topics every single day and jabbing you with your daily dose of UFC. And unfortunately, for any of our avid UFC fans, there's none of that today. But for our big surprise, we have the return of our most viewed guest episode of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, my lovely girlfriend, Lexi Morley. Lexi, how's it going?
It's good. It's good to be back.
Good to be back. How does it feel to be my most downloaded, my most viewed episode of all time? Over 100 episodes. Episode 12 with you, still the most viewed.
Well, wasn't I the first guest?
You were the second guest. Ryan Bonecki, my cousin, was my first guest.
Oh, I don't know.
But one of the first, so I mean, pretty incredible. What do you think made you stand out?
Because I'm your girlfriend.
I'm not worldly famous, so I mean...
Well, the moms like me. I don't know.
Okay, interesting. Multiple moms like you. Interesting. I mean, what's been going on since we last spoke? That might have been a year ago by now.
Yeah, a year ago. I finished my first year of college. And now I'm getting ready to move into my apartment and go into my second year next week. So just finishing up summer.
Exciting stuff. What would you say you learned the most freshman year that you maybe weren't expecting to going into college? I mean, it's pretty big getting through your first year of college. Being a pre-med student, isn't that your major, correct?
That's not my major. It's the track that I'm on. Right now I'm a biology major on a pre-med track, but I'm thinking of switching my major to human physiology because I like biology, but I feel human physiology is more interesting to me than biology, because biology is like the major of biology that I'm in is focused on like research, and it's all about biology of all life, so like plants and animals, which is cool, but I want to study human medicine, so I want to focus on the anatomy and physiology of the human body.
Yeah, so where biology would be more broad, human physiology is all about the human body.
Correct.
Awesome. Any specific reason that piques your interest? I mean, I know for me, MMA is very broad, and the UFC, sparks my interest just because of how they market themselves, their structure of holding events. So what is it that really draws into human physiology opposed to the broader biology side?
Well, I mean, I took an anatomy and physiology class when I was in high school, and I also took an EMT class, and those both, I had to learn about anatomy and physiology of the human body in both of those classes. And then EMT was nice because it tied into emergency medicine. So, I don't know, it's like learning human physiology and anatomy obviously very much so applies to medicine because you're studying the body and how things work, and that's literally all you do in medical school.
So actually classes actually paid off in high school, put you on the right track.
Yes, I was not one of those people who just took the easiest classes.
And you see those types of people, I just can't stand them, right? Those people are the worst, right? Like, imagine just like skimming through high school, having a great time, not even debating your future. And then you graduate and you're like, hey, Zach, you're going to college. Couldn't be me. But yeah, you mentioned you're going into your sophomore year. Very exciting, living in an apartment. I know I lived in an apartment my sophomore year. Actually, I'm going into my senior year now, living in a somewhat townhome-ish. I'd call it a townhome. And I would just be curious to know, what are some things you're looking forward to sophomore year? What are some things that you're kind of just like, I cannot wait to do?
To have like just nightly dinners with my roommates, because it'll be 4 of us girls in one apartment. I don't know, just like coming home, because my first year I was friends with my roommate in the beginning, and then we kind of just like distanced up, like we just kind of fell apart. Nothing like super bad happened, but it was just like little things, and she was going home every single weekend, so she obviously didn't really like college. So I'm just excited to actually live with people who I like and people that I hung out with pretty much every day anyway my last year. So it'll be nice to just like come home and just like hang out with them and be able to go out with them and like do movie nights and whatever else.
Yeah, that's the exciting part is when you're with a bunch of your besties. I know I lived with my presumable best friend. I honestly consider Seth my best friend, besides the fact he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And, for dudes, it's just a lot different than females, I feel. Like, dudes just aren't sitting around having a family dinner. We're not all sitting around watching a movie together.
You watch movies with Seth.
But it was manly movies. We watched Invincible and The Boys. Manly. Actually, Gen V. Great show right there.
Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah. Oh, speaking of shows, what have you been watching on the tube, on the streaming sites? Anything particular?
The whole summer I've been watching Suits. It's really good. I like it. And The Bachelorette. What else? I watch like my rerun shows all the time when I get bored.
New Girl, correct?
Yes. And we watched Cobra Kai together. That was okay.
We actually, about a couple episodes ago, we actually went on here and, or I went on here and I gave my review of the first 5 episodes. Very good. I rock with Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
So yeah, for The Bachelorette, I know you're all caught up now, right? I always say whenever I watch The Bachelor, Bachelorette, it's a very interesting format. And they most recently went to hometowns, which you have to imagine how awkward it is when you show up to 4 different men's houses and ask his family, hey, do you think I'd be right for your son? When they know you're going to 3 other families and saying that. How do you think being the Bachelorette is? Like, what's it like for a girl compared to a guy doing that?
Well, in The Bachelor last season with Joey, he went to the girls' houses for hometown, and, like, of course the dads, like, put up a little, like, guard at first, like, who are you to date my daughter, blah, blah, blah. But then I think they pretty much all the dads, like, at the end ended up loving him and being like, you have my blessing. And I don't know, they didn't, like, question Joey that much. They were like, what are your intentions, obviously. But other than that, they were just like, oh, okay, like, you're good. But then with The Bachelorette, with Jen, I feel like all of the families just kind of were like, well, you're dating all of these other guys too. How do we know, like, you're serious about, like, my son? And I don't know, it's just, like, weird. They're just, like every single family had mentioned how she's dating 3 or 4 guys at the same time and how she dated all these other guys before, too. And it's, like, no one said that to Joe. I don't know. It was just weird. And I feel like the families, like, Jen seemed super sweet, and they just kind of were not being super supportive. They're like, well, I'm not sure my son is ready for this, or I don't know. It was weird.
I don't know. I think if I had a son and he brought a girl home and she was like, hey, I'm actually dating 3 other men besides your son, I'd be a wee bit concerned. That'd be a little concerning.
Yeah, but they didn't do that for Joey is what I'm saying. It's weird.
Actually, who is it? Maria, her mob boss father, gave him approval, and then he axed her from the show.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they, like, all gave Joey approval and didn't really, like, I don't know, I feel like they didn't mention much about him dating other girls at the same time. But now with The Bachelorette, the families seemed to focus on that, and they weren't, like, super supportive. They were kind of more, oh, we'll see how it goes. I obviously don't want my son to get heartbroken, but I don't know. It was weird.
Now, I'll throw a spoiler alert out here now for anyone who is not caught up on the show. I mean, I don't know when this is exactly going to be airing, but there are 3 final men left. There is Devin, Jonathan, and Marcus. Who do you think will be ending up with Jen in the end, if any of the guys? I mean, do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't know. Devin is the, like, most annoying one, but he's also the one that Jen seems to like the most, which I don't really understand. But Marcus, I feel she could end up with Marcus if Marcus is able to, like, fully trust her or whatever. Jonathan, I think he's nice. They could be maybe, but I don't know. I think Marcus has the most potential.
No, I like Marcus because Marcus is like, well, I'm not exactly falling for you yet. I cannot fall in love in exactly like 3 to 4 weeks, so I will need some extra time. He's the only realistic one on the show, and he's a former Navy Ranger. We salute our troops here on the Surprise Chat podcast. My pick's Marcus. I think Marcus is going to win. Which is weird to say getting engaged to a girl is winning. It's essentially a game show, if you view it like that.
Yeah.
If you could create a dating show like that, what would you create? Like, what's a concept no one's created yet that you would do?
Okay, so you know the Love is Blind show?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard about that? Where they just talk and then
have watched
through
brief parts of it.
Basically just like the wall, but they can't see each other until they say, okay, I'll get married to you, until the wedding. That's when they see each other. Do that, except the people are actually blind. So then at the end they still can't see each other. So they have to like do like the face feel thing. Like, yeah, have you ever seen blind people do that?
No, I don't watch blind people feel each other's faces.
What? Okay, whatever. It's been in like a show or whatever. Like they use their hands to like see, because obviously they're blind, so they can't see out of their eyes. So they use their hands, and then like some people are like super good at, they can like draw a perfect picture of someone like after they like touch them.
You're onto something right here. Now, the weird part is they'll never know what their spouse looks like, and what happens when they cop a feel on those hips and they realize old Margaret is not as thin as her voice thought, huh? And then we get some body shaming going on with a bunch of blind people.
I don't know. I feel like that would be better than the show that's out now, because now it's weird. Like majority of the people are just waiting until they can see the person. Like they are blunt about how they need the like physical attraction.
So what would you call this show? Blind Hearts?
I don't know.
Yeah,
sure.
I think the name. You got a name. Is Blind Hearts a good name?
That's fine.
Or no. Blind Hearts, that's the name of it. I like that. I don't know if I could think of a good one. I mean, I like F-Boy Island. That's one of my favorite shows they do. It's the color concept is funny that you're either a nice guy or an F-boy, but it's like 30-year-old men who are considered F-boys. Absolutely lovely. Watch that on the CW now, since HBO Max decided not to renew it. I don't know why. Absolutely amazing idea for a show. But yeah. And any other shows? Anything else?
No, not right now.
Nothing else keeps up your time?
No, I'm not watching anything else that I can think of.
Well, I know one thing that keeps up a lot of your time, and that is your job you've been working this summer. And even though I call you a nurse all the time to everyone I know, what is your medical definition or realistic definition of your job title?
My title? I'm an EMT, because I'm a certified licensed EMT as a medical assistant at my job. So, like, my thing, it says in parentheses EMT, but in bold letters it says MA, which is a medical assistant.
What's that been like? Working with patients all summer, getting a glimpse of what your future could be like?
Yeah, I like it. It's really good to get patient contact experience before you actually decide you want to go to med school, because if you, I mean, it's required, like, we have required hours to even apply to med school, basically. I mean, if you don't have the hours, you're definitely not getting into any med school. So it's good to get the experience of interacting with patients and caring for them. And, you know, I'm not working at a super, like, high role. So it's kind of also good to just, like, get the humbling experience, too. And I've been able to work in couple different, like, what's the word? Settings. So I've worked in the family practice area, the pediatrics, and the urgent care. So I've gotten kind of a taste for a couple different things.
I would imagine urgent care is much more high pace than the other departments.
Oh yeah, urgent care is like you talk to the person for 5 minutes at most. The other family practice and peds, I'm in there for 15 minutes, could be more if the patients are very talkative. So
now, I know you can't reveal any patient stories or patient info, but what are some behind-the-scenes things that most people wouldn't think about a Health Partners clinic? You know, most people just walk in, they sit down, go in the room, that's that. What are some, like, behind-the-scene things that most people wouldn't expect?
Well, when I'm not in the room with a patient, like when I'm not getting them from the lobby and I'm not, rooming them, basically I'm sitting at my desk and I sit side by side with a provider. They're either like a doctor or a PA, a physician's assistant, or a NP, like a CNP or an advanced nurse.
What is a CNP? What does that mean?
A certified nurse practitioner.
Gotcha.
So they're like, you go to nursing school and you become an RN, but then they go on for more school to get more certified in there.
What's an RN? What are these words?
A registered nurse.
Registered nurse. Gotcha. I'm learning right now. So.
And yeah, so I sit side by side with them, and I am basically doing like, okay, so we have this thing called an inbox messages, and we have all these things, different things like patient calls. We have to call a patient with test results, or we have to call a patient back if they have a question, or if the provider has a question for them, or if they have concerns, or if we need an update on anything, or I don't even know, like referrals. Like literally there's so many things that we have to call patients for. And we have to also call sometimes different places, like places that we're referring them to, and just all these things. And pharmacies, we have to fight with pharmacies sometimes. And then I have to mail out letters to patients with their results, like test results and stuff like that. And then we have this thing called e-visits where patients can send in like messages for the doctor, or like a concern without having to be seen for an appointment. So I have to take care of those too. So I'm always like calling patients or doing things when I'm not rooming a patient. I'm not like, nobody's just sitting around like on their phone and just making you wait out in the lobby. We're like doing other work too.
Yeah. So it would appear you guys do a lot more than just rooming patients and, I mean, just coming to greet people. It sounds like there's a lot more paperwork involved. And you actually revealed a tip to me, which I wasn't aware of in terms of showing up for your appointments earlier than you're supposed to.
Well, no, it's not exactly that. So this is just at the clinic that I work at. They started implementing it, I think, a year or two ago or something like that. Basically, where patients, when they make an appointment, they are given an arrive by time and then their appointment time. The arrive by time is 15 minutes before the appointment time. So obviously you're supposed to arrive 15 minutes before your appointment, because when you do that, or whoever is rooming a patient is able to get you and have 15 minutes to room you. And that means, talking about what you're here for today, getting all your vital signs, going over your history, your meds, allergies, like all of that stuff. And sometimes it can take a while if we have to do I have to do any swabs, if I have to do a vision and hearing test or like anything, it can just end up taking the full 15 minutes. And if patients show up right at their appointment time, like if say their appointment is at 3, their arrive by time is 2:45, okay? If they arrive at 3, the provider can like say, no, I'm not going to see them, because now you are technically 15 minutes late for your appointment, and then that would put the provider 15 minutes behind, and just kind of, that would make all the other patients that day have to wait 15 plus minutes later for their appointment. So if a patient is 1 minute past their appointment time, so like they come at 3:01, the provider can say, no, sorry, I can't see them today, tell them to reschedule. Or if they're nice and we're on time, they can say, okay, we'll still see you.
Wow, imagine showing up for your appointment on time and being told, hey, you're actually late.
No, the patients they know ahead of time that there's an arrival time that you're supposed to be there. Like it tells them, I don't know, however they set up the appointment, they are notified that this is when you need to arrive at the clinic by and check in.
I would never even think that.
Well, not all clinics do that. Some clinics, you don't have to. You should at least be like 5 minutes early to anything, I feel like, so you can just have adequate time for anything that comes in the way. But just at the clinic that I work at, that's our like kind of rules, is they have an arrival time and then an appointment time.
Is a long-term goal for you post getting your degree and such be working in a big hospital? Is that like a medical person's dream? Or is a smaller clinic more of your speed?
Well, it's different for anyone. Like, I know some people would rather work in a rural, small, family-owned clinic or something like that, privately owned clinic. I think I would enjoy a bigger hospital, like somewhere near like a bigger city, not New York or anything like that. I don't need that, but yeah, I think a bigger hospital would be something that I'm more interested in, and not like the clinic that I work at now would be good, but I don't know. I think I'm more interested in the bigger hospital.
A New York hospital would be crazy. Do you know how many patients you'd probably be getting?
Yeah, but I mean, we have like the Mayo and stuff here. We have and the U.
Oh, that's big down in Rochester, no?
Yeah, and we have the U.
The U of M, University of Minnesota.
Yeah, Fairview.
Okay. Wow, I guess I'm not really caught. I never visit hospitals personally myself. I'm more of a, if it ain't completely fallen off, we can heal that sucker. But no, that's pretty interesting. This is just a funny tidbit. This is kind of goes out to anyone looking into a podcast or whatever. Is that you actually cannot share personal information about patients online, and we learned that after we'd actually recorded a full podcast, and it was basically all about patient stories, and that's just one for the archives. That's one for the archives.
I didn't obviously share any names because I'm not that dumb, but I just felt wrong about I didn't give away names or any like details about like physical details about the person. I feel like I just said too much in general about each one, and I just didn't feel super comfortable putting that out there, even though no one would really know who I'm talking about. It's just, I don't know, like broader the better, and when you're working with patients.
That was an absolutely funny episode we recorded. So for the right price of $99.99, you can actually buy that from me for one-time use. No. But it's just good to be aware of when you're specifically talking about that. And even for me in the business world, not to be going around sharing all my details about whatever I'll be working on. I mean, and I was actually listening to a TED Talk today, absolutely amazing TED Talk. And it kind of talked about how, the most powerful speakers, they aren't gossiping about people. They said that's a big thing. And, I was kind of thinking about like, yeah, we gossip a lot. And I'm walking past the TV today, and all I see is Donald Trump on the TV gossiping about Kamala Harris. So all I know is some of our greatest political leaders. They're all about that gossip.
I think we went to church, what was it, 2 weekends ago? Something like that. The last weekend that you were home, we went to church, and the sermon was actually really good. The pastor talked about like political stuff, but it wasn't in a, we need to go and rally up and go vote for so-and-so, Trump, Kamala, whatever, Biden. At the time, I think Biden was still running. But anyway.
No, I think Kamala was in. It might have been. Actually, I have no idea. You're right.
Anyway, the pastor was he emphasized that it's important that to not get like so divided, because that's what the devil, like that's what Satan wants. Satan comes and to divide, destroy, kill, So he was just talking about how it's important to not divide the church, like ourselves, over politics, especially because this season, for some reason, has just been so polarizing compared to other seasons that we've seen in previous years. And I don't know, it was just a really good message, because it was like, he talked about how no matter who gets in office, we should pray for peace over them so that we don't get into world wars or, anything super bad happens. And if you think about it, like anyone could be touched by Jesus and have their whole lives and perspective change. So like if the person you don't like gets into office, I think you should pray for them and not, throw hate and stuff their way, because that in reality is doing nothing. They're already in office. You can't, we the people have power to vote. I get that, but we only have so much power. They will not give us, too much power to where we can actually affect the person. So
yeah, that was a very powerful.
It was very good.
It's a very powerful look on it, and certainly, I think when we get behind a certain candidate, if we find out someone we know is voting for the other candidate, usually just like talk bad about them and say like, oh, well, I guess they don't care about our country. But at the end of the day, as much as it is good to be a patriot of America, as I am myself, it's important not to hate other countries. I think a lot of people, when we hear China, if you hate China, you're probably hating the China government. There's a lot of innocent citizens, just like American citizens, who just go about their daily lives and are just thrown under the banner of the country. I don't know. I find that very interesting. But in terms of being a world leader, let's say you're President Trump, President Biden. If you were president, Lexi, what is one thing you would institute into the United States of America?
I have no idea.
If it was me, I would mandate that we teach MMA classes to kids and start as young as middle school. I mean, I feel like that would really help bullying. But the really one issue that I could see coming up is that the bullies learn to fight better than the people they're bullying, and then they're just drop kicking every little kid they can. But I do think that would be very beneficial for the youth.
I don't know about that one.
No, what would you do?
I would do, so I know in high school, I know there are like elective classes for this stuff, but I think making it a requirement class for everyone, like no matter what school, a required class to learn about how to do taxes, what they mean, like
how
mortgaging, housing, like housing, the housing market, just basic economic things and life things and bills that you really don't get taught unless it's by your parents or you take some elective class. Because I think our high school had like one of those. I don't even remember, honestly. But I think to have at least one of those classes mandated, I know, some kids won't want to pay attention, but maybe if you have it for like older high schoolers, a lot of people would actually learn a lot, and you would hopefully remember some of it once you graduate.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. I mean, pardon my French, but a lot of the classes I learned in high school were a bullshit, as they say. I absolutely learned nothing. I think I took a class called Dual Sports, where you played sports where you could play 2v2. That really has helped me now in college pursuing a degree.
That was an elective class. You chose to take the easy one.
Dude, what were my other options? Outdoor education, where I go canoeing for an hour?
EMR, EMT.
I don't care about any EMR, EMT. What do those stand for?
Emergency medical responder, and then emergency medical technician.
Technician. When I think of technician, I think of like a electrician.
Well, that's not.
Are those different things?
Yes.
I don't freaking know. It's not my domain.
Well, I'm an EMT. Do you think I know anything about the electrical side of medicine?
You might. Hey, you know how to like hotwire a body, no? You like rub the electrical cords together, slap it on the chest.
You do not do that anymore, no.
What do you do now? You just like pray over them?
No. You do CPR, but then you have an AED, and that's just...
What's an AED?
Defibrillator.
Okay, I like how you're laughing like the normal person knows this stuff.
Well, I thought the public was, I don't know, maybe...
AED, okay, I want everyone knowing to listen that Lexi went to put her hand on my chest, like how you would use an AED. It'll scare us, but I get shocked.
It's an automated external defibrillator, and when someone's heart rhythm is not functioning, AEDs don't work. When your heart is stopped, AEDs won't work. You can't shock a heart that has no rhythm. AEDs are used when people are in cardiac arrest, when their heart is in like a VFib or AFib, where it's not pumping enough blood for you to survive. But it has a rhythm, but it's not livable. So the AED shocks the heart. It stops it so that it can restart, and hopefully restart at the good rhythm that heart is supposed to work at.
Huh.
And it's 2 pads placed on your chest, and then it just shocks you and stops your heart. How about
that? That's good to know. Wait, stops your heart?
Yes, it restarts it.
Okay, this is very trippy. I don't know how my heart's gonna hang in there, but I might just say, you can have me, Lord. I don't need a cords be shocking me.
Yeah, as much as the more that I think people learn or are in the medical field, the more that they want a DNR, because CPR is just so brutal. AEDs, it's very, very hard on your body, and being, put under in a coma, all of that stuff, it's very hard. But also I don't know, I'm a little conflicted because I have a brother who was in a coma and intubated and stuff, and if we had put a DNR on him, he would have been dead right now, and he's still alive. So
Really?
Yeah.
Was that your mother and father's call, just having personal knowledge, or was that the doctor's call to not put the DNR on?
Well, but I mean, it's
okay. You can't give me a dumb look because I have no idea what any of this means.
Do you know what a DNR?
I don't know what DNR is, and I
do not resuscitate.
Oh,
which means
that is not what I thought DNR stood for. I thought that was another medical device that shocks your heart.
No, DNR means that if your heart stops, your heart, you go into cardiac arrest and you fall on the floor, it means that you don't want anyone to perform CPR on you. I don't know any multiple reasons.
Dude, I don't know anything about the medical world.
We can talk about that later.
Dude, actually, okay, not to get too off topic, but my boy Ryan and me were chilling on our balcony. Our neighbor, who we met for the first time, he's like, hey, can you guys come over and help me with something? And we're like, sure. And we go over, and he's working on this, speed bike, this, BMX bike. And he's like, all right, I need you to put the axle chain up on the limp rod, and I'm going to spin the wheel back on. And literally, we look at each other, and we're like, okay, bro, no need to be mean. I don't know what you're saying right now. That's how I feel right now. But I'm eager to learn. I'm willing to learn. Okay, so DNR.
It's a thing that you yourself sign, or if you're not able to, such as my brother, he's not mentally and physically able to, so my parents, who are his guardians, would make that decision for him. And it's just like a paper, you sign it saying if you don't want life-saving care, if you go into cardiac arrest or respiratory arrest or something like that.
Okay, interesting. And your brother, what's his name?
Peyton.
Would you say he is your inspiration for wanting to go into the medical field?
Yes, he definitely is a big part of that. I grew up going to all of his medical appointments. He has had 1 billion doctor's appointments in his life. He basically has a doctor for every specialty of the body that he sees. And I don't know, I grew up going with and tagging along, and I got to, walk around in all these big hospitals. And when he would have to stay for a week or two, I would also go and stay, and I would just run around the hospital. I'm sure some of the nurses were annoyed. I would sneak into the little, this one hospital, he would stay at this one hospital, Children's in Minneapolis, a lot. And they would have this whole closet full of toys and video games and all this stuff for the kids. And then they would have kind of a little pantry, and there was a bunch of snacks and pops. So of course I would always go in there and get a bunch of stuff for myself.
Healthy child you were.
I wasn't fat.
Just attacking those sweets and candies they keep.
No. But yeah, he's a big inspiration because he has a rare and terminal disease.
Which is?
Oh, it's called MPS. He has type 2.
Which stands for?
I'm getting to that.
Okay. All these little 3-letter definitions. I'm trying to let the people know what this means, because I don't even know.
Okay, he has MPS type 2, or also type 2 is called Hunter syndrome. MPS stands for mucopolysaccharidosis. And
that's a tongue twister.
Basically, he's missing an enzyme, and enzymes are these little things inside your body, inside your blood, and they help to basically kind of get rid of waste. Enzymes perform 1 million functions. They're a bunch of different enzymes. He's missing this specific enzyme, and because of that, his body basically is not able to remove the waste and stuff that's in your body, and it's a regressive disease. So when he was younger, he was able to do normal things like us. He could walk, talk, run, eat, whatever. He was a little bit still restricted. He only knew a couple dozen words. He did know some sign language. But he was pretty normal. He was my brother. We're 2 years apart, and we grew up together, playing outside, doing everything, going places, and he's regressed a lot since then. He's 16 now, and he can't walk, talk, eat. He has a feeding tube in his stomach for food. He recently last year had to get a tracheostomy put in, which is like they cut a hole in your throat and put this tube in so that it can help you breathe, because his throat was closing and he could not breathe on his own. So now he has that, and so his brain has regressed a lot. His brain is slowly dying, and therefore the rest of his body is too. So yeah, it's been very hard, but it's also, I've got to see a lot that I wouldn't if you didn't. Our family didn't have to go through this, so it's a blessing in disguise sometimes, you know.
I was gonna maybe say a blessing in disguise. I didn't know if that's how you viewed it, but
Yeah,
that
I mean,
is.
I actually wrote my, what's it called, my college essay, the application essay that you have to write to apply for colleges. I wrote it.
The U of M specifically, right?
What?
Didn't you apply to U of M with that, or does it go to everyone for your field?
I use that essay for every college. Every college needs an application essay.
Oh, I wonder if I did that.
College
Sorry,
essay.
back to you.
At least I think. I don't know.
I went to a state college, so who knows?
I think my kid. I don't know. Whatever. And I wrote mine kind of about how his disease has been a blessing in disguise, and why I am now going where I am in life, and why I want to do what I want to do, and how it's changed my perspective on just kind of not taking everything for granted, that, you know, like breathing for granted. And also, you know, special needs kids. My brother obviously was in the special needs class when he was in school, and, you know, how they're people just like us. They want to be treated like us, and yeah, just to kind of have a bigger heart and be more understanding.
That is so incredible. And, you know, I've seen it when visiting you. I mean, every time I go over to your house, I've seen it. And it is unfortunate, but it's united your family. You know, you're all there for him, all helping each other take care of him.
Yeah.
It is powerful. But it's good to know that he's your inspiration. And, you know, one day you'll be accepting your medal from the Doctor University of Universal Greatest Doctors.
You get a medal.
I don't know the doctor.
You get a white coat. Your doctor coat.
You get a white coat, and you'll give an amazing speech to your graduating class of fellow white coats.
Okay, I don't think
dedicate to him. Is that not how it works? I don't know what I'm thinking.
Okay. Sure.
Anyways, but you know, that is wow. It's emotional. It's sad. You find the happiness in it. That's good. But are you okay though? Are you personally okay? You dealing with it all?
I mean, that's kind of a like, obviously.
All right, I'm getting the side eye right now on the episode. Thank you so much for sharing that, Lexi. I truly.
Yes, I'm okay right now.
Okay, we'll leave that be. Amazing.
But that's like, so you know who, I won't name, but I've had a friend be like, well, so since you've known, because the age expectancy for his disease and the type that he has is anywhere from, you know, birth to usually their teens. Most boys only have type 2. There are a bunch of different types of MPS. There's like 9 or something now that they found. But for his type 2 Hunter syndrome, only boys get it, and most only live until they're like 9, 10, and mid-teens, and then sometimes, you know, late teens, 18 and stuff. Some of them, if it's not super regressive, they'll live until 20 in their 20s and so on, but his is more regressive and more aggressive. So yeah, his life expectancy is not super long, but obviously we don't have a time frame. It's not, you know, like cancer where it's like, oh, you have 3 months to live and then you die 3 months later.
Tragic.
We've just kind of, it's a weird thing. Like, we've been kind of grieving him our whole life because we know he's eventually going to die from this disease way too young than he should. And like, I remember being younger and I would have like a lot of, I guess, anxiety, and I would just sometimes break down. Like, I'm talking like little, and I would cry because I'm like so afraid that he's going to die like tomorrow or something. Obviously he lived and he's around, and he's still here. So, but I had a friend once. She said, "Well, isn't it kind of easier because you know he's gonna die, so you can prepare yourself, so it's kind of easier." And then I was just like silent, and then I was with a couple other friends, and one of my other friends kind of stood up for me, and she's like, no. And then the friend who asked me that, she goes, "Well, I had an uncle, and I don't know if he had cancer or something, but he had some thing where he was given like 6 months to live, and so she's like, we were able to kind of prepare ourselves and say our goodbyes, so I feel like it was easier than like a sudden death." And my other friend sticks up for me, and she goes, "Well, that was your uncle. This is her brother, her little brother. It's obviously you love your uncle, but it's very different when it's your sibling who is dying and has been his whole life." So,
gosh, yeah, what a bitch, honestly.
Let's not
honestly,
do
how
that.
dare she? How
Let's
dare
not
she
do
call that? But gosh, that is a heavy burden to bear as a 5, 6, 7-year-old, learning that, knowing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the last episode we talked a lot about like, because it wasn't a normal childhood with him raising you up. But did you drop something? Did you drop something?
No, it's fine.
Okay, interesting stuff. But yeah, no, that is. Oh, it's like it's hard for me to find words for it because, I'm not unaware like your word friend, I would say, but it's hard. You can't relate. You can't relate. All I can offer is a shoulder and a open arms to listen. Open ears, I think, is what I was searching for.
Well, you're also an only child, so you don't get even the sibling aspect.
It's
of
true.
it.
I legit don't even understand what it's like to have a sibling. Like I have a cousin, and I still view cousins as friends. Like cousins are family, but it's like, they're still friends. So is there a gosh, I don't know how deep this is. Is there a bond between siblings, like an unspoken bond you can just feel, even if you can, you know what I'm trying to say?
It's your immediate family. Like it's
like, how do you view your siblings? Like, do you view them as friends? Like, I would never understand.
My siblings are my siblings. We have the same. Well, not all siblings have the same parents, but you usually have the same one parent. And I don't know, you grow up together, you grow up under the same house, you grow up going all these places, you grow up raising each other. Like I grew up helping out with my 2 younger brothers, and you get to see them grow up, and we get to just kind of watch each other change. And obviously, like, we're with each other every single day. And I don't know, like you do everything together when we're little. We go everywhere together, and it's I don't really know how to explain siblings to someone who doesn't have siblings.
A friend, honestly. But no, okay.
No, friends, you have totally different lives. You hang out together, but you're raised differently. Siblings, you can talk about mom and dad annoying you. You can talk about, I don't know, like grandma and grandpa. You can go to grandma and grandpa's together, and like, I don't know, it's just different. Like you just have this, I don't know, it's just your family. Like it's your immediate family.
I suppose. I guess whenever I had any issues, I would just speak to myself. So like, that's why I'm a podcaster alone by myself. All right, but any others? I have a game in mind that we could play to. I don't want to say lighten the mood, but to kind of change the topic. So is there anything else you kind of want to share about your brother going in the medical field? Okay, here's a good one. What is advice you could give to someone like myself who is uninformed, how you can properly respond to, you didn't even hear what I was saying, okay. How you could properly respond when you tell someone that, like your friend, not informed,
you can't.
Idiot, fool.
Hey, calm down. She's still my friend. You can't, there's no right thing to say. It's just listening. And because I've heard I'm sorry, like every single time I tell someone about Peyton, I'm so sorry. And that's obviously like, that's
the universal
it's
response.
Sweet. Yeah. They are probably genuine, and they probably are sorry that he is going through that, my family and I are going through that. But I don't know, just maybe kind of just asking to learn more. I think that is like shows that you actually care more than just the surface level, and you're interested, because asking to learn more about the disease and more about him and more about how you could maybe help support to find a cure, because right now there is no cure for this disease, and so many little kids die all the time, every day from it. So, asking how to support and raise awareness. Raising awareness is like a huge thing for this disease because it's very rare. So obviously, most doctors don't even know about it. It's not taught in medical school or in a hospital when you're seeing patients because it's so rare. Most doctors don't ever even know about this disease. So yeah, just kind of asking how you can raise awareness and spread the word so that people can maybe donate if they have the money. If not, just telling other people about it so that it becomes more publicly aware, so that we can hopefully get more funding to find a cure or more treatment.
Now, when it comes to a cure, from what I know about this disease, the cure would need to be implemented early on, like probably when they're young, right? Because since the effects, it almost like it ages you and then it de-ages you, like at such a young age.
Yeah.
Like how he was able to like start walk and talk, and then
his brain went backwards. His brain is like that of like a baby now. Yeah. So if there was a cure found today, which Peyton, it is, we know it's too late for Peyton to have a cure. Obviously, God can perform miracles. He could heal Peyton tomorrow and totally wipe away everything of this disease. Always, hoping, always believing that he could do that. But a cure, we know, is not possible for Peyton, as it's not even in the works right now. And those take years and years and years to find. But his is too far to where I don't think a cure would really do much for him. There was trials when he was little that like could kind of help to hopefully slow the progression of the disease in the brain. But yeah, those, they have to be done when they're little, before they have certain things and surgeries, because it's very particular. And if you, like, he had a shunt put in his head, so he wasn't qualified to do one of the trials.
Shunt is
it's a little device that basically shunts the fluid out from the brain, because some of his cerebral fluid builds up in his brain, like in his skull, in his head, and the pressure can be too much, and so it has to, like, there's a device and like a little line that goes down his body, and it drains the fluid out from his brain.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway, so yes, it would have to be when they're younger that their cure or treatment is given to them to really work.
Well, have you ever thought about your purpose in life, Lexi? Has your purpose in life ever crossed your mind?
Yeah.
What do you feel your purpose is?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm never going to assign someone their purpose.
Help people, I think.
Your purpose may be to find a cure for this.
Well, I'm not. Obviously, yes, I would love to, but no, I'm just going to say I'm not super interested in the science lab aspect of it. I would love to be able to see the patients with his disease and kind of help treat them and, to care of them with medications and the best medical care I can give them. But I'm not, my brain doesn't really it's not wired the way that most, scientists in a lab's brain and doctors who work in research. Like, I mean, obviously all doctors would do some research and I will have to do some myself, but that's not what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be working with patients face to face.
All right, but I still feel you are tied to this cure. I feel whether you like it or not, it is interwoven into your life's purpose.
Well, I did want to do genetics for a while, and that Peyton's geneticist, he is actually a big contributor to finding things for this disease for these boys and the girls.
A geneticist.
Yes. Genes.
Yeah, so like that, his job is just studying genes?
Yes, and finding ways to try and change the genes, implement different treatments and medications and stuff that will help.
That is a crazy
genetic diseases.
That's a crazy profession.
So, yeah.
Interesting. Well, yes, but I know whatever you do, you'll be successful in it. I have the utmost faith in you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. The most unsure thanks I think I've ever heard. Well, I'll try and get us off of this topic a bit. Well, we can come back to this if need be, but I figured why not ask some fun questions, find out some more about you. All right, digging deep into you, Lexi. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's right. So here's a mind-boggling question: if you could live in any fictional world, where would you live? Any of the fictional worlds created in our brains. You have unlimited to choose from.
I know, I'm thinking. Okay, well, there's a couple. Marvel Universe.
Really?
The Barbie, because everything is pink and there's, like, no issues. Not like the recent Barbie movie. I'm talking, like, the old Barbie movies from the early 2000s. They're cartoon ones. Or, like, The Hobbit.
Interesting. So, for the MCU, how many strays do you think random citizens are catching in that universe? Like, imagine you're just out working your job at a donut shop, and all of a sudden, a car thrown by Thor comes right through the window at you.
Well, yeah, but having, like, that all be real would still be cool. I don't know.
You know, if I lived in a fictional world, I would want to live in Ice Age, and I would want to be a saber-toothed tiger.
Ooh, or Narnia. I like Narnia, too.
Ooh, Narnia's dangerous.
No, Narnia, oh my gosh, the lion? No, it's, like, beautiful.
Or Harry Potter, I could be a wizard.
No.
I mess with a little wizarding.
No.
A little Harry Potter action,
It's
flying
bad.
around on a broom.
It's bad.
You're bad. Me and Professor Snape would be hanging out.
Okay.
Or maybe what's something? Ooh, I'd want to live in the Sopranos universe and be part of the mob.
Of course you would.
I'd be a gangster, wouldn't I?
You would probably get killed your first day.
What would your mobster name be?
I have no idea.
Lucky Lexi.
No.
Like, you ever heard of Lucky Marcia? Okay. What would mine be? What would my mob name be? Rough Shot Ruger.
What?
Rough and Tough Ruger.
No.
Riding Low Ruger.
Okay, I don't know. None of these names are good.
No, what do you mean? They're all fair. What are some popular ones? I think the Hobbit one, that would be a popular one. Would you be a hobbit? Would you live in the little hobbit homes?
No, I'd want to be an elf, probably.
An elf. Wow. You have them pointy ears.
Be able to freaking shoot bow and arrow and kill someone from like a couple hundred feet away.
Okay, aggressive.
Well, I'm just saying there's skills.
Wow.
Like Legolas?
People.
That would be amazing.
You would also be tall.
Yeah.
That
would be nice.
You're 5 foot? 4'11"?
5'1". Nice try.
On a good day, you're 5'1".
No, I am 5'1". Shoes off, 5'1". Yeah, no, it would be nice to have a couple extra inches to my height.
That would be fun.
Just a little bit.
All right, here's another fun question. What is one concert you would want to go to of someone alive or dead?
Elvis
concert. That would be cool.
Or Michael Jackson. Oh my gosh, Michael Jackson concerts were crazy.
Ooh, this is so off topic. I hate. But honestly, that's what's fun about the Surprise Jet podcast. We always do surprises. Do you think Michael Jackson is the biggest artist to ever live? Like, do you think there's a bigger musical artist than Michael Jackson?
Right now, no.
I mean, ever.
Yeah, like as up to this day in history, no.
Really? Okay.
I mean, he was known around the world.
I
like,
know.
I
No
know,
one else
like,
is really known around the
I know
world.
Taylor Swift and them are, but she's a girl's girl music.
Yeah,
Michael
she's
Jackson
a woman.
was everyone.
Could never achieve fame.
Obviously, the girls loved him, but like I think guys liked his music too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Just because you don't like R&B and stuff, you don't.
Wait, are you talking about Taylor Swift?
No.
What are you talking about?
Michael Jackson.
I like Michael Jackson.
Oh.
I was making fun of Taylor Swift. She was a woman.
Not on the same page as
It
you.
was very bad. I'm ruining my woman audience as before I've even begun. No, that's a amazing concert. Me, I would want to go to a prime Metallica concert in Moscow, Russia.
Then get killed in a mosh pit.
Oh,
Go
I would
for it.
own the mosh pit. Or maybe, gosh, who's someone that has passed away that would be fun to go to? You pick some good ones, honestly. I'm a little upset. Elvis one would be good. I'd want to go. I don't even know who's hot right now. Who's someone that would produce a good concert right now? All right, I thought of someone.
Okay.
Mozart.
What?
Mozart, you know,
You
the
said
composer.
who's hot right now? He's been dead.
Nah, I just added a Mozart freaking greatest hits to my Apple Music. That got me feeling like a super villain, Lexi.
Oh my gosh.
All right, I'll be reading my books to that. Oh my gosh, a Mozart concert in person. Like, imagine you're like 15th century, you're with your boys, and they're like, bro, did you just get the latest flyer put on your rock outside your home? The latest Mozart thing? All right, you slap down on your piano.
Did you just say, what time did you say?
15th century? 17th century? I don't know what century
No.
we're in.
Okay.
When's this?
Do you think they had pianos in the 15th century?
I don't know when the 15th century was.
Zach, we're in the 21st century right now.
Okay, so then the 1700s, what was that? Yeah, what was the 17th century then?
I don't know.
You just played yourself. But Mozart, he would be my guess. A Mozart concert, the greatest composer ever. Banger.
He was alive in the 1700s? That's when he made his music?
I believe so, or the 1800s.
Are you sure?
Lexi, I'm not sure. I'm not a musical
Google
expert.
it right now.
It is Mozart. What do you mean? When do you think Mozart was alive?
I don't know, but 1700s doesn't sound right.
I want you to make a guess. Right now. Right now.
Like late 1800s.
Late 1800s. All right. 1756.
Oh.
1756. He died 1791. My boy never even touched the 1800s, Lexi.
Okay.
All right, greatest composer ever. Fun times. Do you have any fun questions you could bring to the table? What's a good what if question?
I'm not good at those.
All right.
Like truth and do not like playing truth and dare because people ask that then when it's my turn I have to ask someone. I cannot come up with anything.
I love truth or dares. I come up with the most impactful truths and the most daring dares.
Okay, play truth or dare me.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
Truth?
Get up.
Truth? What are you most scared of in this world? What are you most scared of in this world? How about that? You were not expecting that. Like I said, I'm good at this game.
Losing everyone that I love, probably.
That's a dark fear.
I feel like that's a normal fear.
That is a fear of a lot of people. Not me. I can't share mine. It's too graphic.
Okay.
So don't ask it.
What is it?
I can't tell you.
You have to.
It is definitely not being attacked against my will in numerous ways. I'm not sharing it. Okay, I get it. I'm a little weird if no one knows.
It's not, me dying.
No.
Oh.
Not scared of that.
Oh, okay.
Unless you're driving.
No.
No, it's not because of you. I'm not getting canceled. I can't go that far.
What?
I was gonna say, no, it's not because of you. It's because you're a woman. That's funny, though. Anyways, how about we play a game, Lexi?
Who knows more about cars? Who knows how to change their own oil, change their own tire?
My dad does.
Me.
You know anything.
I'm a woman, I'm younger than you, and I know how to do all that stuff, and you don't even know
exactly, and I found a woman to do it for me. Oh
my God.
Oh, how about that? All right, Lexi, how about we play my favorite game I play with every single guest I've ever had on this show, and that is Blind Rank. Do you like a little blind rank?
Sure. Not really.
You don't like blind rank?
Because then I always, at the end, I regret what my choices were.
In a way, this is like life. Looking back on your life, regretting all of your choices, wish you could have done it differently. How about that analogy? I was about to say anomaly. Maybe this is an anomaly in your life. Okay. Anyways, Lexi, your blind ranking category today is college activities. So these are things you do at college that most college students do. And I'm going to list out 10 separate activities, and you're going to blind rank them. How's that sound?
Okay.
Where's the enthusiasm?
Okay.
Give me a yeah.
Yay.
Okay, wow, this is taking a turn. Alrighty, first off, going on your blind rank list, going to a frat house. Going to a frat house party.
Okay, is this like as me, like as a woman?
Yeah, this is
like
all
as
personal.
Me.
These blind ranks are always personal. Going to a little frat house party.
Well, are we talking like right now or like last year, like in general?
Geez, Lou, we're getting so specific. How about the average college student going to an average frat party?
Well, like their freshman year?
Sure.
Okay.
Freshman year. Where is that landing? You're going to need to tell the people every time you write it down. 4. Very nice. Frat houses. I've only been to, I think, 2 frat houses.
With me.
Oh, no. I'm in at Mankato. Gosh, I've been to more with you. I actually knew the frat leader. What do they call it? The president of the frat?
Yes.
I mean, Mr. Prez. I knew him.
Frat parties, frat houses as a girl are so much different than when you're a guy because most of the time they don't even let guys in unless you're in a frat.
I don't need to cover my drink.
Yeah, that is true. I've had a friend who was roofied at a frat at my college at the U. So that's great, but it's just like a frat guys just like seeing they're so funny, like not in a good way most of the time, and just like being in a sweaty basement, a hot sweaty basement with the music blaring, the bass is like ruining your ears, and everyone around you is literally like, you know, drinking or whatever probably, and one of your friends is like off in the corner like getting led upstairs by this frat guy. She's, you know, drunk. Like, I don't know, it's crazy.
It's a weird way to justify putting it in your top 5.
Come up and just like try and dance with you and, you know, touch you, and you're like, get away from me. And
so you don't
it's a love-hate.
Anyways, it's a blind rank. Okay, frats this, frats that. All right. Second thing to rank: sports games. Going to a football game, a hockey game, a basketball game.
That'll go at 5.
Going at 5, very fun. What is
What
is your personal favorite sport to watch in college?
So far, football, because it's warm and the student section is fun. And the pre-games are amazing. We have like all the frats are on like frat row, and it's on the same street as the stadium, but the stadium is just all the way down like at the end. So all the frats throw parties, pre-games for the football games, and so like you basically just walk down the street and hop to each frat and, you know, party, and then pregame, and then you keep walking down to the stadium and go to the game. So
wowza.
Hockey is good too. Hockey is just, I don't know, like you need to have a lot of energy because those, you know, are later at night, and then it's freezing, and it's just, hockey is fun. I like watching hockey, but it's just it's a little different than like the football times.
Football, Huntington Bank Stadium, they have these jalapeno cheese curds that are just the most delicious thing I've ever had. And the Coors Light there, I gotta give it to them, an ice cold, nice and tasty Huntington Bank Stadium. It gets an A- from me. Beautiful work there. All right, number 3 on your list: joining a club. Going to college, every good college student should join a club. You'll meet new people. Hey, maybe you'll be like me and become the president of the marketing club. 8. Wow, what a student we have here.
Okay, so the only one that I'm probably going to really join is the medical club. I mean, I have joined, and it's great and all, and I get it's like good experience, but it just feels like more schoolwork. So it's, I don't know. I mean, the volunteering and stuff is cool, but it's just more it's all just, you know, more work for me to do so that my application looks good for med school. So
very nice, very nice. Your 4th one, I believe, the dining hall. Every campus has a dining hall. Where does it land for you? 7. Not a fan of your dining hall?
Well, we had like 5.
Wow.
Or 4.
I wish I have one 5? Singular one.
I don't know. We had like 4 or 5 dining halls, and I don't know. They're all different. Some of them are much better than others, but it's not free food, but it feels like free food because you don't have to pay right then and there when you get the food. But it is a couple $1,000s, at least for my school, a semester, which is insane for the quality food that we get. Definitely not worth it. But I mean, you don't have to cook yourself. You can just run in and get the food quick. So it's nice, but it's not worth the amount of money that I had to pay.
Overpriced?
Yes.
I do say one thing I miss about the dining hall my freshman year was all the ice cream cones I ate.
I'm gonna be so sad. Literally after dinner, every single night, I would go and get my ice cream with sprinkles.
It's so tasty. Love the ice cream. Next up, the dorms. The dorms, another staple of college student life. Honestly, I feel like everyone by the time they reach junior, even sophomore year, the dorms just feel like a fever dream. Where does it land for you?
6. My dorm was not a fan. My neighbors were cool. The dorm that I was at was far from all my other friends' dorms. It was on the opposite bank of campus, across the river, across the bridge. It was the older one. It had like the most people, but it was just, it was older. We didn't have, I don't know. It wasn't great. The other, however, it's not like super low on my list because the dorms that my friends lived at, basically I feel like I walked into one of their dorms one day and then I met like my current roommates. I met all of my close friends, and then that's how like my whole friend group expanded. It's just people walking like there. We just had that one dorm room that everyone went into. Like random people would just come in, and all of a sudden I'm like your best friends with them. So it was good.
Yeah, that was the exact same thing happened to me. I was in the lesser dorm. All my buddies were in the nice dorm. It's kind of fun about that. Making the travel, it sucked at the time, but looking back, fun moments.
Yes.
Next up on your blind rank list, we have 8 a.m. classes. Everyone loves 8 a.m. classes. Never taken one, never will. I'll never take an 8 a.m.
9. I had some last year. But I would rather, like, I'm not a morning person, but I rather, like, would get my classes over with earlier in the day than have 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. classes. I hate evening classes, like afternoon classes. So 8 a.m.s were fine. I didn't really mind. Like, I kind of liked walking in the mornings when it's nice out, not when it's, like, snowing and stuff. But when it's nice out, it's just, like, the sunrise and it's quiet. So, yeah.
The mornings can be good at times, but I know for college students like myself, 8 a.m.s are the kiss of death. Even 9 a.m.s can be a struggle at times.
I like 9 a.m.s.
Maybe I'm just lazy.
Yeah, 8 a.m.
Not right now. I'm locked in. All right. Next up on your list, actually going to class. I think a lot of people get confused with college, like actually attending your class, because a lot of the college experience is not even going to class. So where would you put actually going to class, the whole purpose you're at college for?
From my first year experience, I don't want to put it at 10, but I'm going to because I feel like most of the time I did not need to actually show up to the lectures. I feel like I could have stayed in my room and done it online, but I know that as I take higher level classes, I am going to need to go for sure. But it's not like I love it, like I'm learning knowledge, cool, but I'm not learning, med school stuff yet. So it's going at 10.
Not too bad of a spot to put it. I'd say for me, I have met all the people I met at college, I have pretty much met in my classes. And it hasn't been till my junior year I actually had some life-changing classes, I would say. So you as a freshman, going at 10, it still feels like high school, a little different than high school. No? None whatsoever?
No.
Okay, can we get a justification? Are we just going to go, no?
Well, mine wasn't, like, I didn't take, like, I took a good chunk of STEM courses and filled with, like, 300 people in some of my lecture halls. So I wasn't in, like, I had one class that was, like, a small
classroom. I see what you're saying.
That felt like high school because it was a discussion class. But all of my lectures in regular classes were huge lecture halls with all these people, and it felt like I was in like Monsters University, So
okay, that makes more sense now. All right, do you have 3 more spots?
yes.
And they are your top 3. That is absolutely hilarious. So your first one, Ubering. Every college student has Ubered once in their lifetime, and more than not, if you're active, you're taking an Uber. Where's it landing for you?
2, because most of the time I did not pay for the Ubers.
Whoa!
No,
Me too,
like,
Lexi. Me too.
My
I've never paid
friends
for an
would just
Uber.
be like I would be fine with, walking or whatever, but they would be like, no, I'm ordering an Uber, and I'm like, okay. So
Sure, as long as I can come. No, I completely agree. I wouldn't pay for an Uber, but I'll hop in an Uber.
Well, now we don't really have any in Minneapolis, so.
All right, second to last. Going out to the bars. Any non-absolutely hermit college student will experience going to the bars.
1.
Number 1?
Yeah.
I thought you said when. You were about to go, me? The bars? Never.
1. Not. Every weekend I think is a little much.
No, it's not.
Okay, maybe not for you, but the ones that we have at my college, every weekend is kind of a little much. It gets to be a little exhausting, and also as a girl, the male attention, like I am complaining because a lot of it is like just like touching.
You're not complaining about guys giving you attention. What are we uncovering here?
A lot of it is just like touching that you don't want at all.
Gosh, I know. Like I just go out, I touch everyone, they get upset. I'm joking. Please, it's satire.
Yes, I know. But
I
yeah,
wasn't speaking to you. I was speaking to the audience.
Okay. It's like a staple, and it's a great time when you're with the right people. When you're with the wrong people, it was not great.
That's a great point.
With the right people, it's amazing, and yeah.
And your final one, late night fast food. Any college town will have fast food joints open way past the regular times. That lands at number 3 for you. So Lexi, run us through your list and tell us some changes you would make. First off, run us through your list.
So 1, bars, 2, Ubering, 3, fast food, 4, frat, 5, sports games, 6, storms, 7, dining hall, 8, clubs, 9 8 a.m. classes, and 10 classes. I would move classes to like probably 9, and then just switch 8 a.m. to 10, and then everything else is pretty
solid
good.
List.
Ubering, I would maybe move down and put sports games at like 3 and move fast food up to 2, and I don't know.
Okay, but not too bad of a list. Now, do you think I missed any staples of college here? This was kind of tough to come up with things.
No, I think that's like pretty good general overall. I mean, for me, it's like roaming Minneapolis late at night on the streets and then getting hollered at by homeless people.
Yeah, why in the world would you be on the streets of Minneapolis late at night? What situation would land you in that?
My friends being drunk and
just the
dragging
friends,
me out.
right? Just your friends.
And also the club. I think that's at least for going to the U, it's a staple. I feel like everyone goes at least once. For me, once was good. If you went twice, I think going twice is a mistake. Going once is great. You get a taste of it, and then you're like, okay, I don't need to ever go again.
Is the club the G90? Is that the club?
What?
G90? I'm using code words.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I was double checking. Oh, yeah, I've been to this set club. It is absolutely terrible. You talk about a house of Satan. There were demons crawling across the ceiling. It was a place of despicableness actions.
That's just because the dancers weren't women. So you didn't like it.
Lexi, I hope you know how that understands. We did not go to a gay strip club. That is not what we went to.
Well.
Okay, there's a lot of context missing out, but we're not going to touch on any of this. Dude, this is... I hope no one listens to this episode.
Okay,
that sounds so bad.
This one, there are other ones. This one...
Oh, wait, we could easily cover this up. There were drag people walking. That's what was going on.
Yeah, well, this one, all the guys there are pretty much straight, and they're basically trying to roofie you and get you home, and
Oh, really?
as soon as they can. Yes, they're very, like, oh my gosh, these guys coming up to me, I actually had my gay friend Jacob there, and I would have to literally, like, grab his arm and be like, yeah, he's my boyfriend, because they would just be very forward, and I could tell most of them didn't really believe it, but he would literally, like, if I was, like, just dancing with my girlfriends, guys would come up to, like, behind me and start dancing, like, on me, behind me. So he would have to kind of, like, I would, like, signal over to Jacob, and I would be like, hey, come and save me. So he would literally have to, like, take my place, and the guy would then be dancing behind him. Obviously, then he would realize that I'm no longer there, and get mad, but
that's disturbing.
Yeah, not great.
I can't even relate to that. That is quite the story. I do think it's funny that when you have a gay friend, women do this all the time. They have to insinuate to everyone that is their gay friend. It's never just my friend Benjamin. It's my gay friend Benjamin.
Well, because you have had someone who, I don't know. Well,
me?
Never mind. I have had a friend, his boyfriend, think it's, like, weird that I was posting with my friend Jacob, and then I was like, guys, he's gay. So, like, if I don't emphasize, they're like, oh, that's a little close of you with him, and I'm like, he is gay, trust me.
I never got that protection. Like, I mean, you can tell when someone has exterior motives?
Yeah.
But
no,
it's like
ulterior, not
like
exterior.
But however you design folk call it. But I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Actually, while it's on the tip of my tongue, Lexi, you were telling me about a game you saw some other podcasters playing, and you wanted to give it a try when you came on. So I figured, why not give you the stage to introduce me to a new game? I always love games to be played.
Yes, so it's called word association, I think. So I don't think they really did, like, a category, but I think you could. But basically, one person says a word and the other person has to fire back a word, like the first word that comes to their mind, like associating. Doesn't have to necessarily associate, but okay, like whatever comes to your mind when the other person says that word, is you say it, and then it's just, like, funny.
All right, I think I get it. How do you win?
I don't think you keep points. It's just
so what's the point of this game?
It's just for
fun. Who plays games for fun? We play games to win here on the Surprise Chef podcast. No, I'm just kidding. I guess blind rank is a game, and there really is no objective there. All right, so what do I do? Just say words, and you say what comes to mind?
Yes. I'll say a word back, and it has to be fast. Like, you can't, like, if I say a word, you don't get, like, a couple minutes to think. It's, like, a second, and then you have to say a word.
All right. Anomaly.
Word.
Okay, that's a weird response.
I wasn't ready.
Okay. Stereo.
Heart.
Stereo Heart. Okay, the song by Adam Levine, the Maroon 5.
Wait, I don't know if that's a title.
My heart's a stereo. It beats for you so.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that the actual name?
Yeah. All right.
I didn't even know that.
Kaleidoscope.
Light. Okay, my turn now.
Okay, I'm down.
I'm so bad. Green.
Bean.
Okay.
I'm good at word association.
Skin.
Game. The skin game.
Oh, I don't like that.
I sound like a serial killer. Who wants to play the skin game?
Hot.
Mess.
Okay.
It's what a lot of people are nowadays. A hot mess.
Okay, you go.
Broad.
Home.
A broad home. Better than a small home. Crisp.
Flakes.
What? What's a... Oh, like the cereal. Like the tiger.
I'm not saying it's a thing. That's just what word came to my mind.
All right, I got one more for you. Tape.
Pen.
Tape pen. How to get out tape pen makes sense, but... All right, we'll go back and forth one more time.
Okay. Hair.
Nails.
Okay.
Gotta get your hails and nails done, girl. Give me a word.
I'm thinking. Love.
Me.
Oh, okay.
I love me.
That's great.
I love myself.
Okay.
I'm up. All right, cord.
Dog.
I don't know what you're doing with cords and dogs. I don't want to know. You just watched my dogs last weekend. I'm a little concerned for Finn and Scout. But good to know. Penelope.
Girl? I don't know.
Isn't there a flower called a Penelope?
What? Periwinkle?
Periwinkle, bro. What you talking about?
I don't think Penelope is a flower. I don't know.
All right. Tarantula.
Spider.
No, that's lame.
Like,
Supposed to
ew,
go like
tarantula. Ew, like what?
Or just scream. Like, ah! It startled you.
Ooh, dark.
Mist. A dark mist. Come on, are you looking around the room for inspiration?
No. Bored.
Nails. Oh gosh, that's the second time I've said nails. I'm a little concerned.
Pizza.
Dale.
What?
I have no idea, but Dale came to mind.
Okay.
I'm thinking of Talladega Nights, and I think one of the guys' name was Dale, and they were sitting around the table eating dinner, and I actually have no idea.
That's a great movie.
Actually, Talladega Nights is an amazing movie.
Yeah.
I think why it's because they never made a sequel. You know how they overdo sequels? They just let that stand in time. I rewatched that.
I just watched it not too long ago again.
Where?
At home?
You were just sitting alone in your basement watching Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
That is the most random movie you could be watching.
I would think I was on Netflix.
I don't know why I pictured you
like,
just watching girls shows and movies all the time.
We literally watched like every single movie together. I watched all
just you alone watching Talladega Nights. That'd be like me watching
The Notebook.
The Notebook alone.
Which you cried to.
Yeah, Tears of Joy for Ryan Gosling.
Shut up.
Dude, I'll tell you, I gotta rewatch La La Land again. That movie does something to me.
That's so literally.
That movie like rewires my brain circuits.
I watched that when it came out. I was younger when it first came out. I watched it. My friend and I watched it. We were so excited. Literally, it has like consumed my mind since I first saw it. Yeah, like sometimes
it does something to you after you finish it.
It's such like the cinematic of it. What's the word? Cinematic aspect.
Cinematography.
I don't know. Whatever.
See, what I love about it is the title. It's La La Land. Because you realize, like, Hollywood, that's La La Land. But also, their relationship was basically a dream. Like, you're off in La La Land dreaming about it. And then reality sets in, and it doesn't come to fruition.
Well, it was just they were meant for each other, and then life just was too difficult for them to stay together. And then the ending, though, when they see each other.
And all the callbacks, too.
Well, it literally their life it was a what if. Like their what if life flashed before their eyes. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's so good, dude. I'm gonna watch that with all the boys down at college. And we're all
it's
gonna
a musical. Do they like musicals?
It doesn't matter, dude. And this is funny because earlier on in the episode, I was saying it'd be weird for a bunch of dudes to watch a movie together. So in reality, I've been living in La La Land.
What?
No, doesn't work.
No.
Okay. Oh man. Well, gosh, Lexi. What else? What else is happening?
What were we talking? Oh, we were doing the game.
I think I won. I think mine were good.
I don't think so.
I said nails a lot, which was weird. I don't know why I said nails that many times.
Okay. Let's go 2 more times.
You want to keep playing?
2 more times.
Okay. I will give you 2 words.
Okay.
Tornado.
Wind.
All right. That's fine.
I need to be fast. Okay.
Magnify.
Glass.
You see, I need to pick better words. We need funny ones. All right, hit me.
Bird.
Chain.
What?
Chain a bird down and feed it to a lion.
Okay.
All right, go. Hit me.
Clown.
Breach.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, I've had enough of this game.
Okay.
My brain is rewired differently. It's all thanks to La La Land. I don't know what's going on. Well, Lexi, honestly, I wonder if anyone listening to this is wondering about any relationship advice. We've been in a relationship now, 3 years?
A little over 3 years.
3 years. Oh, that's crazy. Gosh, 3 years of my life.
Down
lost.
the drain.
Down the drain. No, it's been a great time with you. We complement each other so well.
I like to think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was my one sweet compliment of the day to you. What's some advice you would give to people in college, single people?
Oh my gosh. Literally,
looking for love.
Before you went off to school, everyone, well, I don't know about everyone. Certain people were telling you, there's just like a stigma that high school relationships don't last, obviously, because most of the time they don't. But I feel like a lot of people were telling you to just break up with me before you go to college because, you're going to college, you're going to see all these other girls. Like, why do you want to be tied down?
I'm getting my freak on. I'm going to be rocking up all these frat houses.
Well, that's just, I think
women
that's
at once.
So
Sorry,
I think that's so stupid because, I don't know. Obviously, if you're not mature, you think that way and you're like, well, I'm only young once. I need to go and, like, mess around with all these people, Get all these, like, hot people before I need to settle down. But it's like, settling down shouldn't be what's the word? It shouldn't be
settling down. I am not settled down with you.
What?
Settling down, that term makes it seem like you're done with life. You're done growing. You've settled down.
No, I mean,
you see, what you do, the reason I'm with you,
okay,
Lexi,
commitment.
You support me, and you want me to chase my goals. And where I'm going, I'm on a rocket ship to the moon. And I know people who are sinking in the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean who don't want to go anywhere. They've settled down.
Okay, yes. Well, I just mean, like, you're not on,
I'm not a
Tinder
pimp
or anything anymore.
Gosh, yeah.
Like,
not on my first phone. Okay, I this is sarcasm. I have a problem.
What I'm saying is we're in a committed relationship and, we're not, like, I have some friends who literally talk to a different guy every single week.
Same.
It's just, I do not, like, and they have, like, a billion snaps every single day, and they're from all these guys who they've, like, most of them they've never met before. A lot of them are just horrible people, like, with bad motives, and it's just, I don't get the appeal because they're so sad. They cry all the time over these guys, and it's just like, why? Like, what? I mean, I think they try to, like, find boyfriends, but they're not very good at it. So I don't get the appeal because, like, I don't know. But yeah, like, to those people who told you to, like, break up with me and just dump me before college, I think that it was just because they were immature and they didn't understand what a relationship is really like. It's not like a relationship shouldn't be controlling or limiting. It should be something that, like, builds you up and not, just keeps you in one place and controls you and is like, oh, you can't go out and do this, you can't have friends, like, whatever. No, like, a relationship, it should be healthy and where you support each other and build each other up and want each other to have a good life because, like, yes, we're in a relationship and we talk all the time and we basically tell each other everything about our day-to-day activities, but we both still have separate lives and we have separate friends, and I think that's important to have because, like, especially when you're dating. When you're married, it's, like, a different thing, but when you're just dating and you're in college, it's important to be able to, like, live your life, your own life too, but knowing how to have a balanced, healthy relationship too. It's really helpful when you're going through hard times and stuff like that. So
yeah, I have no idea who's saying we should break up. I'll be honest. I have no freaking clue. Okay. Well.
I had a family member who was like, oh, they won't last.
Oh.
And you had a friend who was telling you, but, you don't need to speak about that.
I mean, I don't freaking remember in the slightest, so, I mean, I must have just been like, I'm good. I'm
well,
happy.
Yeah, but, I mean, my friends were supportive, but, yeah, I even had, like, family members and just random people who were like, oh, yeah, like, you guys are young, you're in high school, it's not gonna last, and it's like, that's...
No, I'll call it out is when you break up with your significant other before high school, it is to explore other people's bodies for the next 4 years. Let me just tell you that. And it doesn't bring you joy. I've seen it firsthand.
Even after high school?
What'd I say?
Like you said before.
Oh. Yeah. We're just gonna move on then. That is... Ooh. Yikes. Don't do anything before high school, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you that.
I agree. Not a good idea.
Not a good idea at all.
Too young.
Because I was there. I did all that. I was crazy back in... okay, I'm joking. I'll say that is one of my biggest flaws, is my wild sarcasm. And the funny thing is I used to not get sarcasm. Like, people used to get me with sarcasm. I'd be like, wait, what? Really? Now that I learned what sarcasm is, I am just satire, sarcastic all the time. Especially with you.
Sometimes too much to people who aren't understanding it.
Dude, that is funny when I'm with your friend group and I'm literally just like trolling them. I'm such a troll.
Gosh, you did that. You did that to like basically all of my college friends. Like, you would meet them for the first time, especially the guys, and you were literally just like spewing lies to them, and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, really?" And I'd be like, "No, don't listen to it."
Dude, it's so funny. I think my funny thing is I can't tell actual lies. Like, I actually like laugh. My parents always say like I can never rob a bank because I'd start laughing.
No, you're so bad.
They're like, "Did you rob this bank?" I'd be like, "Me."
That's why if you ever cheat on me, I feel like I would find out instantly, because
it's true that
you would not be able to keep it from me.
Like, right now I'm about to say weird stuff, and I'll say that's another thing. You'll know when you find the right partner because they bring the inner child out in you. That's true, no?
You are very childish around me.
I know, and I think it's just naturally when you find someone you vibe with.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we were watching the Lorax today. What did that guy say? It's gonna be my new catch saying. The girl walked up to the kid, and he was on his bike.
I don't remember.
She was like, "Oh, hey, Ted, how's it going?" And he's like, "Oh, no, I'm just catching a vibe right now."
No, he said
what was it?
What did he say?
He said something with a vibe, and I was like, I want that to be my new saying.
Yeah, like
spreading a vibe.
I don't remember.
Now we gotta go back and rewatch the Lorax to find that. I'll read the transcript. But no, advice. All right. The first thing you need to do for anyone in high school, in a college.
Communicate.
I was gonna say communicate. I was gonna say don't hook up the first time. Go on an actual date. Go out to a dinner. Drive around at night. Don't say, "Hey, what you doing at about 2 a.m. on a Friday evening after you're done at the bar?" Okay? Never ends well.
Well,
I've seen it firsthand.
Basing it off of just that aspect, it will never go very far, because you need to have like the actual emotional and like deep part of the relationship. Like, you actually need to get to know the person and know if you actually like them. And their flaws, because obviously none of us are perfect. There is only one person who's ever perfect, and that is Jesus. And so all of us have flaws. As much as, it's nice to hear like, "Oh, you're perfect to me," like that's great to hear, but like, I know I have flaws, and like everyone does. So you have to really get to know the person before I think you just jump into that stuff. Yeah.
That was profound. I say we slap that on a sweatshirt and sell it for $19.99 on the Surprise Shop Podcast website. I should start a merch store. Would that not be awesome?
Expensive.
You might have just given me an epiphany. I need to make some flags on the Surprise Shop Podcast. Okay. Hang that up anywhere.
Like a room flag? I'd buy one.
Really?
Yeah.
You'd buy one from my shop?
Yeah.
$49.99.
Okay. No, give me like
before
$10.
Shipping and handling. I could sell that.
We're all broke college students. I don't got that money.
Not me.
Okay.
Money flows. Okay, I gotta chill. All right, sometimes you just go on too long. I'm just rambling. But yeah, any other final thoughts, Lexi, that you would want to leave the viewers with? It's always fun talking with you, having you on. It's weird doing a podcast with you, because normally we just talk like this normally. Like, this is just normal conversations. So I'm not really in my podcast voice. Like, when I'm recording UFC stuff, I'm in this goofy mood, if you will call it. So what is like something you would leave the people with?
Jesus loves you. That basically, okay, I don't...
Brother, what?
Listen, I don't really like religion, and I feel like that's the main thing. I have friends who aren't very, they don't really believe in anything. They don't really like feel like they need to believe in anything. And I think that's because like they've just had people who claim to be religious and claim to be Christian, and of the church just be a total hypocrite and not spread Jesus. So I think like having a relationship and faith is much better than just being religious. Being religious, Jesus did not like the religious people of his time. He liked the ones who had blind faith. So, yeah, Jesus loves you, and just I think following him is amazing. And while it doesn't make everything in your life perfect and all your problems go away, it definitely is. It makes it a little bit easier to get through them because you know that there is an end to all your problems, and you will get out of them. And knowing that I will see my family members one day again who have passed away, like my grandpa, and when my brother passes away, Peyton, I know I will see him again one day, is I think an amazing feeling. And yeah, just I don't know. And I think that it's a big part of our relationship. Our relationship started like when we were just friends. We were doing just like Bible studies together. And I think that built a really good foundation for us to have a good and healthy relationship. Instead of, because I feel like a lot of people have toxic relationships these days. It's so easy to be in one and not even like know it. So yeah, I don't know. I think that was, yeah, I don't know. That's my advice is believe in the gospel and Jesus loves you.
That is excellent advice, Lexi. In terms of following Jesus, believing in God, I will say believe in God and you will find your life's purpose. Because when you realize you are doing things more than just for yourself, when you realize things that you do have a much higher purpose in the universe, if you will call it, as much as sometimes I question if the universe is a real thing. We don't need to get into my conspiracy theories about if space is fake or not. Just stay tuned for potential conspiracy theory episodes. But I do think, that when you are doing things for a higher purpose, when you realize that there is an infinite God out there that created everything, it really changes your perception of everything. That suddenly these little moments in your life, they have much bigger impacts, which I absolutely love. And I'm all about finding your purpose and achieving the maximum you can in this life. And most people that try and do it on their own, they're often led to the conclusion that they're not alone. There's always someone bigger than them.
Well, and I mean, depression and anxiety and suicide is at an all-time high in like our generation and the younger generations today. And I feel like it's because everyone is kind of so lost, and there's not a ton of like hope, and like all these like new like, oh, like if you just speak it, it'll happen to you, like the, what are they called, not affirmations, what? But like manifesting. Like, oh, if I manifest this for myself, it'll happen. Like, no, you can't just manifest your problems to go away. That's not.
Oh my gosh. If you ever want to see how manifesting doesn't, I'll tell you guys, visualization works, saying affirmations works, manifestation does not work. And I'll tell you a perfect example. If you've been watching The Bachelorette, they had this guy on who said he was manifesting that he was going to end up with Jen. And immediately after he told her that, she said that she was not in love with him and was actually sending him home. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious right after he said that. But it's very tough, drawing a thin line there.
The manifesting practice that has spread around on social media is not.
Oh, really?
What?
Not on my social media.
Well, it was like a while ago that I saw.
All I get is David Goggins TikToks.
Anyway, it was like it's kind of like witchcraft stuff, and that's not good. So, what was I don't remember where this was going.
Did an intrusive thought just leak out of your head right now?
No, I just don't remember where I was going with that.
I always think that's funny is when...
Oh, the depression, anxiety.
There you are.
Okay, there we go.
It's come back. He has risen. He has returned.
That is like, it's huge today. I mean, I've struggled with those things too. But almost everyone that I have met at college and some friends from just like random places, they're like, oh yeah, I have depression, I have anxiety, and they're on meds for it or they're not. And it's like, this has never been as big of an issue as it was, for our parents and other generations, which is crazy because like my grandparents and great grandparents lived through the Great Depression, and World War II and then Vietnam. So it's like they had much, I feel like, some worse things going on in the world at that time. I mean, our world is obviously not amazing. It's struggling financial times, but like we don't have that going on. We're not living through the Great Depression, and everyone today is like their mental health is just so bad. I think a big part of that is because I feel like no one has faith anymore, and it's all just like very like selfish, and people are very like, oh, woe is. I'm not saying that depression and anxiety is caused by oh, woe is me thoughts, but I feel like that's not helping the case. And I know that Jesus has healed depression and anxiety for people that I know and like people all over the world. Like he is capable of doing that. And I think just like having that faith is very helpful so that you don't struggle with that as much. Because you just kind of have this joy and you're able to trust that someone is always like looking out for you, that like there is a purpose and there's a plan for your life, and your life isn't just, you know, this hopeless thing that has no purpose.
Absolutely. You got to have faith, you know? And I can't talk on depression or anxiety because I'm definitely someone where if I ever feel depressed or I have anxiety, I can just flip a switch in my brain and I just dial it off. But there's people that actually struggle with it. So that's why I try and steer clear of my opinions. You know, I'm more of someone who views it as it's all in your mind and you can stop it. But, you know, someone like you there's kind of dealt with it.
There's chemical imbalances that cause depression in your brain. And that can only really be helped by, like, medicine and stuff like that. So it's not all always in your brain. I mean, like, in your mind where you can control it. Sometimes it's a chemical, like, imbalance and stuff.
Wow. How about that? You could say a chemical romance. You know, the pop hit.
The band?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't listen to.
I don't listen to them, but funny word association there. I'm sure the crowd got it, weren't they? Did they get it? They're laughing.
What?
No. But yes, thank you very much on that point, Lexi. Mm-hmm. It's always good to let people know that there is a higher power out there. That you're not alone on this earth. Very much. Thank you so much for joining me, Lexi. Been a great time.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's been fun. Did you have something else you wanted to discuss?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no one can see this since I am yet to master filming myself, but I get side eyes occasionally whenever I say almost anything on the whole episode. That makes
me sound mean.
What makes you sound mean?
Giving side eyes to you.
You're a girlfriend. That's what they do. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us, Lexi. I know you're going to do great in your sophomore year, and you're always invited back.
I hope so.
You would hope so?
I was like the first person to listen to your podcast.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. No, truly.
Well, I was the first one who like knew about it, so.
Did you?
Yeah.
Actually, I was my first listener. I listened to my first 30-minute episode all by myself before I uploaded it.
Yeah, you've come a long ways. It's really cool to see.
I appreciate that.
And just like in life, like you're compared to like your freshman year of college and now you're going into your senior year, you've definitely matured a lot. And I can see that you actually have a vision and a plan for your future, which is nice to know. Because I feel like your freshman year, you didn't like what were you, undecided. You didn't really know what you wanted to do at all. And now you have more of an idea. And I feel like you're really motivated to kind of go out and try new things and, just like try and be successful for yourself and your family and future family and all that stuff. And I think that's
self-betterment, baby. Let me tell you, no one's really coming to save you. No one's coming to save you. All right? Everyone nowadays is waiting for a handout. They're waiting for someone to come in and save them. As much as we talk about, you know, Jesus is love and God, you know, they're there for you, but they're not going to send in someone to frickin' give you $1 million to solve your problems. Okay? That's not going to happen. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Not guaranteed, but
it ain't guaranteed. That's why you need a plan. You need to get action. And read a TED Talk. Go on a run. Okay? Eat healthy for a week.
Don't you watch TED Talks?
I love TED Talks.
Yeah, don't you watch? You said read a TED Talk. Don't you watch a TED Talk?
Heck, you can read the subtitles on a TED Talk.
Okay.
I don't go back on my word, Lexi. No, I appreciate that. Thank you for noticing that. Same for you. And when you come back here, when it's your senior year, I'll hit you with the, gosh, you've grown so much since you were a freshman. No, fun times. One lasting quote for the listeners.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know.
Just be nice and love everyone, even if you have opposing views and stuff, because you don't know what people are going through, and life is just too short, and there's no need to be so serious and so have hate. Hate is not good, and it eats you alive. So forgive and be kind to people.
Be kind. Absolutely love that. Love beats hate any day of the week. Lexi, thank you so much for joining us. You are my favorite girlfriend.
Oh, that's great to know. You're my favorite boyfriend.
That is wonderful to hear. And as always, for all of you, I'll catch you next time on the Surprise Jab Podcast.